All right, what's going on, y'all? All right, hope y'all having a wonderful day today. Top of the morning to you. I know a lot of people are going to be traveling for Memorial Day, about 42 million people, from what I understand, either by bus, car, or plane. So y'all be safe on them, travels. Take care of yourselves and one another, okay? So I want to get into here about the Black Lives Matter movement, okay? It's my understanding, I was shocked to hear this, that the BLM movement is going bankrupt. I didn't say that they are bankrupt. I said that they are going there, all right, again, but they have not hit insolvency, not just yet here. Okay. Um, and this is not a effort here, any type of effort or to try to bash anybody that supports it. Okay. I do support people that try to fight for humane rights and all that. And I don't want to try to discount the people or the organization, maybe like the more uh, organic organizations. Uh, how can I say? I don't want to discount them for what they're doing, or if they're doing, as long as you're doing the right thing, I'll say it like this: keep fighting, whether you're the victim or you the organization. Okay, so I'm not talking about all of the organizations, not all. Then come to find out, I tend to get text messages and phone calls right when I'm making these videos. Okay, give me a second here. All right, but I think that we need to hit the root of these problems and so forth, because what I had a problem with, and I made a video, I don't know, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, all right, where say business and wokeism, sports and business start mixing to where one tends to dominate the other. Okay, and it gets to a point that there has to be a decision made. Okay, really, they don't really want to hear it when it comes to when it comes to either business, politics, or well, politics, that's one thing, but business or sports, when it comes like to the corporate world. Okay, so you want to probably be very, very selective of what to say and when to say it. Okay. So, but I do think that it was very important to bring certain things to the forefront. Um, so let's get right into the topic here about them going BLM going bankrupt. All right, these articles come from several podcasts I know or I've subscribed to. Okay, you can see these articles on Newsweek, New York Times, and NBC News. Okay, I look at some of my other sources like ABL or Roland Martin, okay, one of the top Democrats. I think he helped out with Obama's campaign. And anytime you get Roland Martin complaining or whatever, okay, there must be some type of truth to all this. Okay, so a little bit about the group. All right, a lot of you guys are and ladies and gentlemen, you already know. All right, it was pretty much to bring a lot of the police brutality, okay, and inhumane rights to black men, all right, to the forefront. It was founded actually in 2013. Forget what you heard. It was founded in 2013 by two young so-called African American brothers, all right, after the Trayvon Martin incident in Florida. Okay, then it started gradually picking up, and that's where also the conscious community, too. A lot of your podcasters on YouTube and so forth and other outlets started around that time. Okay, just fighting for rights at the time. Again, it started picking up around 2014 with Mike Brown. Okay, with that incident out there in suburban St. Louis. Okay, it became commercialized. It is what it is in 2020. All right, with certain people that put money into these leftist organizations like this. All right, and Patrice Cullors, the leader who stepped down in 2021, was the president at the time. Okay. Now, I will give them this, at least this. They have brought these incidents to the forefront. All right. They did do that. All right. But I look at these factors. I look at bringing out awareness, which they did do that. Having some type of, I don't know, like a bill or some type of amended rights or whatever for these men that's been mistreated or were killed, restitution for the families, and affirmative action. And out of the four, the three, I did not see that. Okay. But particularly like the affirmative action, okay, if you don't do that, then you're going to keep reinventing the wheel over and over again. Okay. It's been happening over the last 100 years or so. It happened during the suffrage movement, civil rights movement, during like the feminist movement, okay, back when they had like Rodney King, and it's going on right now, okay. It turns out to be more political than anything and about money, and it seems like this money was raised, all right after the Joe Biden campaign when he was elected, and then it was like all the head movers just went poof, okay. Not just Patrice Cullors, all right. There was other people like Tamika Mallory and my son, okay, that they were representing YouTube. It's like they got the money, got what they wanted or whatever. My son and doggone Tamika Mallory, okay, ended up getting commercials and stocks and all this crap. Okay, what does that have to do with the finding justice and restitution for these families? You tell me. And now, like I said, you ain't heard of these people since. Okay. Now, I'm gonna do a little breakdown of what's been going on or whatever. This group along corporate, okay, BLM and corporate, they raised a total of $92 billion. $92 billion with a B, okay? The BLM organization itself ran $90 million. Now, this is in 2020, okay? Like before then, they were getting small donations and all that, all right? But this is when 2020 is when the group really, really blew up really fast and they end up getting the most money, all right? So you got that, but the money, and this is also when, you had C-19 and you had all that, money floating around and all that stuff from, COVID relief and all that, okay? And this and that. So, people had more money to, donate and all that, okay, with the protests. Now, they have a form that I guess you have to manifest profit and loss called Form 990. All right. To where, let's see here. That money I just told you about was manifested in 2021 for 2020. Okay. Now in 2021, which was manifested in 2022. All right. That the donations dramatically dropped to $9.3 million, all right, from $77 million. All right. And $30 million, excuse me, worth of assets. Now in 2020, the company was worth $42 million in assets. Okay. So the expenditures at average between $31 million and about $38 million. Okay. So that tells me like you, not only that in 2021 that you had a drastic change, drop in donations, but they were spending a lot more than what they were getting in. All right. So I told you about Patrice Cullors, okay, that stepped down, had failed to tell her a lot of her personal wealth and all that, had felt, threatened and all that other stuff. Well, it's one of the things that you do when you do these civil protests and all that. And I know that being in charge of all this stuff is a lot of work. It's a thankless job and the pay sucks or whatever, okay? And I feel as though if you're doing a lot of work a lot of the work you do deserve something nice, okay? Deserve to make a good living as long as what you do is consistent with, the money that you make. And apparently it's not. And so let's go on and get into more of this. Okay, more facts here, okay? Stats. All right. So this is reported to the IRS. Okay. Now, $21 million, and something is not adding up here, was expended to 11 BLM organizations and so forth. Okay, to help out with the families, but the families are complaining that, okay, like the Trayvon and the young man up in Cleveland and Jacksonville, that these organizations are complaining and the families are complaining they haven't received any money. Okay, so the thing is, where is all this money going to? I believe that some of these numbers are being fudged about where it's going out to, or whatever, or who and where it's going out to. Like I say, though, okay. So let's talk a little bit about Patrisse Cullors. All right, where some of the money may be going out. I understand that $30 million, all in all, went out in stocks. And I talked about that before. I made an access about 5 other videos about this. Okay, and Patrisse Cullors that got some of that money for stocks. Okay, to where she had like 5 properties. Okay, 1 property in Canada. This is real estate. A $1.4 million property in Georgia. Okay, where there was supposed to be a house with an airplane wings on it. $415,000 a house in another one in Atlanta. Okay, where she even admitted herself where she threw parties at that house or whatever. Another house in L.A., a $500,000 house in L.A., and then a $6 million house in L.A. And I think that's the house right there, in which raised a lot of questions and all that. Okay, so her family was broke off with a lot of money. Okay, that she had a brother named Paul Cullors, that was supposed to have $127,000, okay, for head of security. That's how much his salary was supposed to be, but he was awarded $1.6 million in pro security funding. Okay, and I'm thinking, who's he trying to do security for? Jay-Z? All right. They talk a lot about this woman named Shamaria Bowers, which was also part of that BLM board here, which she was supposed to be a secretary. That she was also funded $1.77 million. Okay, and I talked about Tamika Mallory and my son. All right, for a consulting company. All right, so this is committee itself. Now, they also have a grassroots organization that some of the people in that grassroots organization was stealing money. Okay, that I called it a quasi chapter, but it's really not a quasi chapter. We'll get back into what their placement is into this. But some of the members during 2020 was accused of stealing like $10 million. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you what I think that it happened. I think that it blew up too fast, and everybody wanted to dip in the pot. Okay, once the deals started coming in, and the lawyers started coming in. Okay, lawsuits started coming in. All this got unraveled about what this movement was all about. And the real mission, well, I'm not going to say it, because if I say that 4-letter word, okay, all right, is to bring that that other alphabet group, I'm going to probably get my channel terminated. Okay. Now, in recent terms, and I'm going to try to wrap this up, more recent terms, there's been some lawsuits where there was a chapter up in Boston, Massachusetts, okay, that was indicted for some type of money misappropriation. Okay, that's what I wanted to say in the first place. A lot of this money was misappropriated. Well, anytime the victims didn't get no money, and there was supposed to be some information leaked out, okay, because they didn't get whatever cut So a lot of this had brought up a lot of this, this investigations in the first place because somebody may have blew the whistle on Patrice Cullors, okay? Which brought out the grassroots organization, which I didn't really even know until about a year ago. Now, the grassroots organization, and you can look at this from an interview that Roland Martin did with the grassroots people that run it right now, saying that they are the ones that actually run the BPM. Not BPM, but BLM. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking there. And the board was another entity. Okay, which tells me that that board with those three, those individuals like Colors and all that. All right, that was some kind of scam almost like. All right, that was corporate. So you have a organic sector and you have a corporate sector, and that's what happened in 2020. That this group became corporate in 2020 off the lives of dead black men. Okay, and right now the lawsuit here. Okay, I want to talk about that because they are trying. This is grassroots organization is trying to get some of those money back from this. I don't know, this board, BLM board, which now Shamar Bowers is in charge of, and she's really getting it from the media right now. But they're trying to get some of that money back, and there's a court battle going on right now where the courts are delaying it, but they filed some type of cease and desist or whatever, okay, to prevent the grassroots from saying certain things about this BLM group, okay, the group of whatever group of trustees, or they can countersue. All right. Now check this out. Shamar Byers, which is now I guess one of the names of Moves of the Shakers, along with two other women, that the grassroots are saying that they do not have any parts of BLM, which means that these are straight business women. Okay? Then what are their roles? What is the purpose of this so-called trustee group? I think what the group, all in all, y'all, it blew up too fast. They should have had a mission, who's in charge, and what other subordinates, chapters, and leaders that's in charge of the main leader, okay, and a thorough understanding of what they're going to be doing. It should have been more structured. And, I think that the money should have been more centralized, okay, and the least thing they could have done was make some type of trustee fund just for those victims. And they didn't do that, okay? So moving on in the future, I think that they need to work on that, okay? And a lot of people are afraid in closing that what they're going to do is, particularly this group, this trustee group, okay, that they're going to rename their LLC and find other dead black men, okay, to make money off of. All right, but that's the reason once people found out about that, what I just told you about with the board of trustees or whatever, that their mission didn't have any affiliation was BLM, plus the lack of relief money was the reasons why the donations that went downhill. Okay, so in closing, a lot of people, especially conservatives, they are trying to take the BLM out. That's why they need to take care of themselves, okay, and make some changes. But a lot of them feel like a lot of the conservative sphere, I feel as though, like in 2024, that they're going to, the BLM or another group is going to rename their LLC and do the same thing over again next year. You see what they're trying to do with Jordan Neely, and also what's that, Shanquella Robinson and all that. So I just think that these are internal things that people need to fix and not just make any more. We don't need any more civil rights groups. Okay, not right now. Okay, because again, it becomes a political, and then once they get what they want, then they quit protesting, and you don't hear from these people ever again. Look at the people that got killed like what, 2-3 years ago. Where they at? You don't see nobody around. So let me know what you think about the video. I know I've held a lot of your time there. Thank you for your time. Now it's family time and all that, and I hope that a change will be made.